What up, though, people? It's Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you all for choosing to kick off this victory show with the Wood Crew. The Tigers, they just keep on winning, man. If it's not the Dodgers, it's like beware. And the Yankees, they go down 6-2. We're going to talk a lot about it today. It's your boy, Brandon Dent and Detroit, Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Flannel Sam, welcome back, my brother. The vet of the squad, vet of the network. Red Wings correspondent, all sports knower. What up, though?
I mean, it was partially a victory show, partially not. But we're going to get into it. Should be fun.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hey, you know what? Before we get into the Around the City, you want to tell the people what's on the menu?
Absolutely. We got some Tiger talk because they just continue to win. We're going to talk a little Lions, a certain player who was hurt for most of last year but really showed out when he was healthy. We saw him sprinting, video of him sprinting in Allen Park. I think you guys probably know who that is. And also, friend of the network, Tim Twentyman, put out a mock draft in which he has the Lions making a very interesting pick and passing on a couple of interesting people as well. So, but for that, Around the City.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I can't wait to get to that one. I was kind of intrigued when I saw that one and looked into the player. But you know what? Those Detroit Pistons, there are some people out there, Flannel Sam, who are concerned. And I wanted to be able to talk this in a little bit in the opening because I wanted your take on this as well. Sacramento Kings last night, they go out and they beat the Pistons by 10, 127-117. Zach LaVine, 43 points. DeMar DeRozan, 37 points. And Sabonis, a big triple-double. And those guys are fighting for their postseason positioning and postseason lives. They needed that win last night, whereas the Pistons, still without Tobias Harris, get Jalen Duren back. They don't really play Asar and Duren in the second half that much, kind of coast. Now they're in the 6th seed. Is there anything, just from your perspective, that concerns you as they're just now 3 games away from the playoffs?
I mean, no, I wouldn't say concerned per se because they're locked into the 6th seed, and obviously DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Domantas Sabonis all on the same day just go off. I mean, what was Zach LaVine? 8 of 11 from 3. It's just that's just what Zach LaVine does when he turns into a mix of prime Kobe and prime Steph against the Pistons, because of course he does. I would just say if there's anything that I'm concerned about, it wasn't. I don't think the defense, obviously players going off is going to happen, but I don't think the defense was necessarily great. You saw a couple of players not getting as many minutes in the second half. And also, one thing that I will say, and I don't want to get into this too much because it isn't getting into the playoffs is getting into the playoffs. I'm not super concerned with who the Pistons face, but there's this groundswell of people that just would give their left nut almost to play the Knicks. Oh, we're going to kill the Knicks. Be careful what you wish for. I think it would be better for them to potentially get the 5, but that's just me.
Yeah, and that's something we're definitely going to talk a lot more about on Wednesday with legend Rod Beard. These playoff matchups and what's best for this team as you know what, they're going to get a little bit of playoff flavor as they close the season with the Knicks in 2 games against the Bucks. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to have boots on the ground at the Knicks game. So, look, we want to see you guys want to get your opinions, especially as the Pistons are entering the playoffs as you know, out of their last 3 playoff appearances, this is going to be their highest seed that they've entered in. So, shout out to the Detroit Pistons. You want to see them enter the playoffs. You want to say hot, but this time, like in this era, playoffs is different. They're going to get a little bit of a break with that play-in tournament to actually get some guys healthy. So when you're talking about momentum, really it's about how much preparation they're putting in, how much video work they're going to be putting in, you know what I mean, how much they're doing during that break to get healthy, how much they're doing during that break as well to try and hone in and improve on a few things like free throw shooting. And so that's where I do believe this Detroit Pistons team right now, everything that they're doing, just from my perspective, looks like they are getting prepared already for the playoffs. And if you're JB Bickerstaff, as a coach, maybe this is a part of the maturation as a coach as well, getting your guys ready for what comes next, especially if you're already locked in.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's the playoffs. It's the only thing that matters, and all this can be forgotten if the Pistons have a good showing in the playoffs. It's just, as a Pistons fan, we all know that it's a kick in the nuts, back-to-back, a Desmond Bain masterclass against the Pistons, and then Zach LaVine, because of course they did.
It's always those
it's always
two, though.
I hate Desmond Bane with like with the fire of 1,000 suns. And I'm not on some hater shit. He's a damn good player, but he's not as good as he looks against the Pistons. Come on.
He has some weird comments too about us passing him up in the draft.
Well, probably should have gotten him, but that's neither here nor there.
I was like, yo, what if we had Desmond Bane right now, part of this young core?
I'd rather just keep him away for the rest of society at this point.
JV, smooth about you, man. That confidence, man. Before we talk, this national championship game, I can't wait to hear what Flannel has to say about that. It was intriguing.
I mean, I'm still confident in the team. I was there last night. I was able to, witness and take witness to everything that was going on. Gotta respect Cade a lot, just because every single time he gets the ball, you see the defense kind of crashing out to try and defend him, to stop him from getting to the hoop, but it just doesn't happen from time to time. And I remember texting you last night, where was Duren that second half? I was waiting for him to get back off the bench. I see him right there, and he's just sitting on the bench, just chilling, But as you said, maybe I didn't take into account that, maybe they're preparing for the playoffs. They're just trying to rest these guys as much as they can. Just rest them as much as they can, and then all right, playoff time, pedal to the metal, all gas, no breaks. You guys, look, you know how serious this is. But as of last night, they almost had this game in hand. I hated having to sit there and watch the back-to-back threes that they just had to endure from Zach LaVine. Just come down, 3. All right, come back down. All right, Beasley, 3. All right, come back down. Zach LaVine, 3. All right, timeout. What are we doing right now? What are we doing? Like, come on. It was rough to see that happen, but I'm not losing hope. Like, I still see promise in this team, and I don't care. Knicks, don't matter. Knicks, Twix, don't matter. Pistons and 6.
Let's go, Bars. Cavassier.
Oh, you might.
I'm looking forward to the postseason. I'm not worried about the one loss, and it's not like the season, it's over just because of last night. It's all about being healthy for the playoffs, in the way I see it. And I'm hoping we get matched up with the Knicks. I think they're a soft team. I think Karl Anthony Towns is a soft player, and he might be he's still good, but I still think he's soft. So I like the matchup with Duren and Stu against him, and I think Cade is better than Jalen Brunson. So.
That's going to be an interesting one, man, because Sabonis and Jonas Valanciunas give you some things to think about.
Well, that's
when you're talking about those kind of dynamic bigs.
And I'll tell you what, and I know, Chase, you've been consistent with this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I do often and try to defend Karl Anthony Towns a little bit. If the Knicks had the exact same team and you put, let's just say, Miles Turner instead of Cat, Jonas Valanciunas instead of Cat, Domantas Sabonis instead of Cat. There are literally people who would have more fear of them with those guys, and they're all objectively worse than Cat.
If they had Sabonis, I think Sabonis is better than the other two guys you named by a lot.
Is intriguing. The other two,
Sabonis can pass the ball way better than Miles Turner or Jonas Valanciunas, and he can rebound just as good as those guys. Even
of course, better. I'm just making a point that okay, I'll leave Domantas Sabonis out of it. What about Miles Turner? Would you have more confidence in the Knicks?
No, I think Cat's better than Miles Turner and Jonas Valanciunas easily. Right. Sabonis is the one I question.
Well, and that's fair. I mean, Sabonis, he
is really good.
If you want to say Sabonis is better than Cat, I have no problem with that. In fact, I think that if I were ranking them, they'd be really, really close.
His playmaking is what?
Yeah, sure.
I would probably have Cat. I don't even want to say this. Probably ranked just slightly higher than Sabonis. I really like Sabonis.
You got to value the scoring more than the playmaking because at the end of the day you win off scoring. So, but I think that the playmaking and the scoring are what you're comparing between the two because, and I think Sabonis is a much better rebounder.
Man, but you know what, mate? Chat family, let me know as well. Just that temperature check for you all because I heard a lot of, in the arena last night, the game, I heard a lot of people that were kind of shaking like, man, this is not the way you want to play as the playoffs are starting up. I just want to know how you guys are feeling, if you kind of see the bigger vision here, and if there is any concern at all for these Detroit Pistons as the playoffs, as the postseason is going to begin, first with that play-in tournament. But there was another tournament.